The Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal, or the Mon Brec as it's usually called, is located in South Wales, mostly within the Brecon Beacons National Park. It's 35.65 miles long, has 6 locks and 2 tunnels, and it's not connected to the main UK waterways network. I have to start this video with a viewer beware warning. First of all, it's about 54 minutes long. The reason for this is, in reality, it's my day-to-day diary of my 14-day trip. And it includes many narratives that are not specific to the actual cruise. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. Mandy and I left Reno on the 13th of October and flew American Airlines to London Heathrow. On the 14th, we rented a car from Eurocar and drove to the village of Raglan in South Wales. This is us crossing the River Severn. We stayed at the Beaufort, received a warm welcome from the staff and customers, and had an excellent dinner. I had sea bass cooked in rock salt. I got to meet Casper's look-alike. Well, not quite a look-alike. We had a couple of pints of butty back cast ale while we chatted with the locals. This is Paul. Butty back is a Welsh term meaning little friend. Saturday the 15th started off with a full English breakfast. I would definitely recommend the Beaufort in Raglan. We didn't have time to tour Raglan Castle, but decided to drive by and have a look at the outside. It looks like it would definitely be worth a visit. It's only a short distance from the hotel, but unfortunate that we got lost and that put us behind our schedule. We stopped in Abergavenny to get our groceries. There are no stores available along the canal. Mandy dropped me off at Country Craft Narrowboats with the luggage and groceries, and then returned the car to Tredegar. Eurocar closed at 1 o'clock and she made it just in time. However, there were no taxis or buses available, but luckily she talked the employee into driving her back. So now we are ready to start our adventure on the Mon Brec Canal. I've divided this cruise into 3 parts. This first part covers our cruise from Country Craft Narrowboats in Llanginida to the southern terminus of the canal at 5 locks in Cwmbran. This is a distance of 28.82 miles and will go down 2 locks and through 1 very short tunnel. We hired 50-foot narrowboat Country Maid from Country Craft Narrowboats for 10 days for £1,437. That's around $1,630. Country Craft Narrowboats is a small family-run business located about 10 miles south of Brecon, between the only flight of locks on the canal. These are the owners, Olwyn and her brother Ronald. We got away around 3 o'clock and went down depot lock number 65. After passing the Coach and Horses pub and going through Lower Lock, we cruised in the rain for about 3 hours to Bridge 117. This is just before Llangardacht Wharf. There were nice views to the northeast along this 4.5 mile stretch, but we didn't see them at their best because of the rain. It was about a half-mile walk down a steep lane from Bridge 117 to the Horseshoe Inn, a Jamaican Welsh pub. Very good food. I had a jerk chicken. Definitely recommend this one. After huffing and puffing back up the hill to our boat, we discovered the heater wasn't working. Sunday the 16th. This was our overnight mooring just before Bridge 117, also known as Danny Garth Bridge. You can tell from my attire it was a little chilly, but it was nice and sunny. We called Country Craft to let them know that the heater was not working. We got away just before 10 o'clock under a bright sunny sky and cruised half a mile down to Llangollen lime kilns. The kilns were built in 1815 by the Brecon boat company. Limestone reached them in horse-drawn wagons which descended an inclined plane and a tram road. There's a 2.5 mile walk that traces the route of the plane and the tram road. However, it's a steep climb and unfortunately we decided to give it a pass. We watered up at the wharf. One of the many pluses of the Mon Brec are that it has plenty of easy access water points. This is looking towards the village of Llangollen and the River Usk Valley beyond. Beautiful countryside. Most of the trees in this area are deciduous, so I was surprised to see this redwood tree as I was cruising along. It's located in Llangollen Park, just before Bridge 113. This is a view from Bridge 111. Mandy is reversing the engine to get the leaves off the prop. And here's Mandy coming through Bridge 108. It's around noon, the sun continues to shine on us and the leaves are starting to drop. Between bridges 112 and 111 is a good view of Creek Howell, an Iron Age hill fort. Its English name is Table Mountain. Our 4.5 hour morning cruise from Bridge 114 to Gurvalong Aqueduct was a scenic 5 3/4 miles. This informative information board is located near the aqueduct. If you want to read it in detail, pause the video. After coming down the steps from the towpath, it's a 100-yard walk down a country lane to the Tafan Yvonne. That's where we had a 1:30 reservation for our Sunday dinner. Tafan Yvonne is Welsh for Bridge End. Great pub and good food. While eating there, Ronald came to fix the heater. We didn't leave the pub until around 4 o'clock, but as the weather was still nice, we decided to cruise on. This is Bailey's Iron Warehouse at Gothelham Wharf. It was built around 1821. This is Lamfoist Wharf and it's now a private residence. It's been a beautiful day, but it's just started to drizzle. This is the old boathouse, rather fancy now. The wharf cottage still has character though. And now we're going to go under Todd's Bridge, number 99A. We moored up just beyond Todd's Bridge. A very enjoyable full day of cruising. Oh yes, the heaters still did not work. Monday the 17th, a rainy start to the day. This is the view from where we're cruising along. Our plan for this morning is to cruise about 8.5 miles down to Pontypool to pick up Yvonne. She'll be coming over from Ireland to join us for 3 days. The rain quit and it turned into a beautiful morning as we cruised along this beautiful part of the canal. Just beyond Bridge 94, Mandy's navigating Castle Turn, a very sharp U-turn. Further along this stretch there are nice views of the great and little Skirrids. I'll try and say their Welsh names. Esgotid Ma and Esgotid Ma. Sorry about that. I know that's nothing like the way you're supposed to say it. Interesting styles in this part of Wales. One of many small farms nestled in the hillside. Well, you know you're in very shallow waters and the moorings are like this. Coming into Pontypool and we've run into a little bit of duckweed. As you can see, we're now at Bridge 62. We're just a few miles from Pontypool. We moored up just beyond Bridge 53, Pontypool Road Bridge. It's a good mooring, not far from the railway station. Mandy met Yvonne at the station and Ronald came and finally fixed the heater. After Yvonne got settled, we started heading further south. By the time Yvonne got settled, it was getting dusk. But we decided to push on the half a mile or so to the Open Hearth pub just beyond Bridge 49. There's no question we made the right decision to come here. We had a very good dinner and quite a few pints. And because we put in the effort to get here, we were allowed to sign the Open Hearth Boaters Book. The book is dedicated to the memory of those that designed and built the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal. We remember with admiration all those that used this historic waterway for their trades and income, and we remember the sturdy and tenacious horses that pulled the heavy loads. Today the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal is much loved and still very well used waterway. The biodiversity and marvel of flora and fauna are bound to entertain and encourage the users that now populate the water with leisure boats. To all those boaters we say welcome to the southern end of the Mon Brec. Honour our beloved canal by recording your visit here to the Open Hearth this day. We weren't sure if we were going to cruise down to the end of the navigation, but we did go ahead and sign the book. As you'll see, we did go down to 5 locks. Definitely one of our highly recommended pubs, and the end of another successful and enjoyable day of cruising. Day 4, Tuesday the 18th. And it was a bright sunny start to the day. We made the decision to cruise down to the southern end of the navigable Mon Brec, just about a mile. I'm going to cover our journey along this short and shallow section of the canal with a series of unedited video clips. Yvonne's joined us. It's Tuesday morning, it's about 9:30 now. We pulled away, maybe 10 o'clock. We pulled away about 9:30, and Yvonne's taking us through some duckweed. going into our first tunnel.
Any boats coming? Are you walking over the tunnel? Yep.
We're about to wind in Mon Brec Basin, and then we're going to reverse back down to the very end. Around 11 o'clock we made it to the top gates of the 5 locks, the southern terminus of the Mon Brec Canal. Originally the old Monmouthshire Canal went a further 8 miles down to Newport. Now we'll take a few photos and share them with the Bridge 46 to 5 Locks Canal group. Well, we've moored up the 5 Locks area. We're now walking down and exploring the closed 5 locks. One day this will be open and they'll be cruising up from Newport. I'm guessing that this might be an old Monmouthshire Canal wooden bollard. If it isn't, maybe somebody can enlighten me. After we boarded up, we were ready to cruise north towards Brecon and begin the second part of our cruise.